Hi everyone, I'm Kristen, the cross stitching runner, and welcome to my channel. This channel is all about cross stitch with a little bit of life stuff thrown in just to make a bit fun. So today is Sunday the 20th of February and I have a good variety of things to go through with you today. So I want to say before we really kick into everything, hello and welcome to all new subscribers, and a big hello and welcome to all new or returning, returning subscribers, and anyone and everyone who has stumbled across this particular channel. So a couple of episodes ago, I did a giveaway where I needed people to put into the comments just some keywords, and I'm going to draw the winners in this episode. So we've got 4 lucky winners, and what I'll do is for each person who has won a chart or a kit, I'll respond to their comments, where I'll reply to their comments with the contact details for how we can then sort out postage in terms of what addresses I send to, and all of that good stuff, and I'll let them know as to what charts or kits they have won. So the first one who has won is this particular kit, and the keyword for this one was angel. So Joanne Matthews, congratulations, you've won this kit, and I'll be in contact with you really soon to let you know about you winning this kit. So the next one that has been won is Oriental Butterfly Dimensions kit, and it is Diamond Painting with Nicole. Congratulations, Nicole, you've won this kit. So the next kit that has been won is the Santa one, and Rebecca Journey, congratulations, you've won this kit, and we'll be able to sort out postage and that really soon. Congratulations. And last but not least is the Butterfly Fairy, and so Tina Whale, congratulations, you've won this pattern, and I'll be in contact with you really soon about winning this particular chart, so congratulations. Okay, so I've just gone to grab the pattern for the Stars Hollow or Autumn in Stars Hollow pattern, so I've put a bit more love and work into this particular project, and let's see how we go. So this is where I'm up to now. So I've filled in the background a fair bit behind the flags for Yale and Harvard. I've stitched the football, and we've also got the lamppost with the wreath behind it, and I've just started to work on the roof, started the roof of the gazebo. So I'll just bring this back up for comparison. Hopefully this all works. Okay, so that's just a comparison of what I've done and how much I've got to go. So I'm doing a combination of the cord fall threads and I guess some substitutions, because the pattern does call for some specialty threads that I just don't have in my collection, and I probably won't purchase either. So what I've been doing is going by the because it's a colour pattern on the inside, I guess I've been having a look a bit at the cover page, and also the colours that are used on the actual chart, just as a something that I'm using as a guide or something to gauge for some other DMC threads that I can put in as a substitution. And I think so far it's turning out all good, and I think for a lot of if not all cross stitch patterns, especially for the ones that I design, each to their own. Customize it to any which way that suits you, that works for you, because from a designing perspective, I might see a pattern one way and think, yep, these are the best colours and all the rest, but because there are just so many different and amazing fabrics out there, let alone the choice that we all now have for threads and what we've got access to and all the rest, I think it's a wonderful thing that we're part of now, that we can sort of switch things out where we can, and or if we need to, and it can make for some really interesting stitching. And especially in our Flosstube community, I've found that like with this Gilmore Girls pattern, for example, everyone sort of stitched the pattern, but some people have put in some metallics, or they've done some different things, or some of the samplers and such that are being done. Pandemic especially comes to my mind, where I love that it's been charted in a particular way that people can do the standard black thread on whatever fabric they want, and even though it's the same pattern, 5 different people will have stitched it in 5 different ways because of what's available to them, their choices and creativity. It's wonderful. I love it. So that said, the next thing I have been working on, before I go on another tangent, I have put a little bit of love, and it may not be noticeable, into this pattern here. So it's got, let's see, I'll see if I can get some, here we are. Okay, so I'll just get a bit of, here we are, that's better. Okay, so you would have seen this pattern a bit, or potentially last seen it in my whip parade, and so I've been putting some of the darker colours in towards the bottom of the project, and I've found that it's a bit hard going sometimes doing the dark stitches on dark fabric. So yeah, if anyone has stitched on dark fabric, you'll know what I mean by this. So I've definitely adjusted the lights that I use for my stitching sometimes, where rather than having the bright light over the top, the light that I have, it's on like one of those bendy kind of arms, so I can also rotate the light so it's underneath. I've just also got some of these portable lights that I've actually picked up at craft fair a few years ago, and I'm just checking to see if I have the pack. Yes, I do. Okay, so with this particular light, now word of warning, this is going to be just a little bit noisy because this arm is flexible. Okay, so folds down flat, and it charges with a USB port that comes in the box, and the ones that I've got, they've got come in 3 different colours. Got white, red, and maybe black. But they can be purchased online. So this one is called, this is the box. Okay, the light's not helping me much at all. So it's a rechargeable LED folding craft lamp. The brand name is Triumph. And yeah, I don't use it as much as what I should. So initially I bought these, oh, the other thing, just to also point out, so hopefully you can see this okay. So this button here, I won't press it, you just tap it 3 times, and you can adjust how bright the light is as well. So you tap it once, and it has a low light, tap it again for another bit of brightness, tap again for the 3rd lot of brightness, and then you tap potentially like a 4th time just to turn it off. And you'll start to know when it needs recharging, because you'll notice with your stitching that the the level of brightness will start slowly dim. So because I haven't used it very often, I can't really say as to how many hours of stitching you might get out of it for use. So yeah, definitely pop online, do like a Google search or whatever kind of searching you prefer, and you'll hopefully come across that kind of light. So yeah, that kind of light will definitely work with, I guess, any dark fabric that that are working on. You can adjust it, just the light to wherever you need it to be. Okay, so the other bit of exciting thing is I have a pattern release. It's 90% done in terms of the stitching that I've done for the model. So the cover page, I'll get the cover page first so you can actually see what it will look like in the end. And then I really should be more organised with this. I'd like to think that I would have been. And hold on a moment, I'll be back very soon. Okay, I'm all good. So in theory, this is what the pattern will look like. So it says coffee, because stabbing something 10,000 times should be done with enthusiasm. So this particular pattern is based upon a cafe that I walk past nearly every morning for when I'm walking from the gym to my car, and they have like an A-frame blackboard at the front of their little cafe, because it's like a little coffee shop cafe thing, like in a wall, so to speak. You can't actually sit inside the actual establishment, so to speak, inside the building, but they do have some outdoor tables and chairs and that. And they had a quote on their blackboard to say coffee, because hating your job should be done with enthusiasm. And that I think that had been on their blackboard for maybe a couple of weeks, and it always made me smile when I walked past it. And to add extra context to that particular quote thing, the cafe that I walk past, it gets a lot of foot traffic because it's right near, it's at one of the bus interchanges for where I live. So it's something that I see quite regularly. So this is what I've been able to stitch so far. So it's very stripy, and it's intentionally done this way. So all of this is DMC threads, and I've used the variegated thread of DMC 121. So my intention is to have that stripiness. And this is stitched on 14 count Aida, and it's fabric that I've got in my stash. So this is a printed, I think it's a peach marble, or like a pale pink marble. I think hopefully that'll show up on the camera okay. And it was through threaded needle that I got the fabric ages ago. So this is their business card. So threaded needle. I'll put the details in the description box below. So I'm not sure if this specific fabric is available, but this is what I've been putting a lot of my time and effort into over the last couple of weeks. And yeah, I've actually, it's been a lot, it feels like it's been ages since I've stitched on 14 count Aida, and I've been using a needle that's like a ball tip needle as well, and yeah, I've really enjoyed how that's come up. And admittedly, when I was stitching the coffee cup, that I had to get a little bit creative at towards the end, because I actually ran out of the variegated thread. So I actually needed to go through my stash a bit and like hold some of the flosses up next to some of the blues, just to see what matched, what worked, and how I could sort of weave that into a part of the coffee cup, and I guess because of the way that I've stitched this, it's not too noticeable, and I'm not going to point things out too much on that one either. So with this particular pattern, I'm humming and ahhing about stitching the border around it, and I'm humming and ahhing about stitching the needle and thread that will be just after the word enthusiasm. Borders have never been my strong point, and borders do serve a really brilliant purpose for stitching, and I'm also mindful of anyone who wants to stitch this, that I don't want them to be bored. I want them to be able to enjoy the process, because to me that's really important, to enjoy what you're stitching regardless of what it is. You need to enjoy it, because otherwise there's no point, because there are so many other patterns out there that you can stitch that that you should be enjoying. So with any patterns, you need to enjoy it. So I think if I don't include a border, it'll be more about how I finish it and how I frame it up that will be equally important. So yeah, this is the pattern. This is my new release. So I'm super excited about it. I love it. So that said, that's pretty much it that I have to share in terms of my works in progress and that kind of thing. I do have some haul. I have sort of purchased over the last month or so, and it's all just finally come together. So the first thing that I want to share with you, it's not stitching exactly, but it's stitching related. So at the start of this calendar year, I was doing a bit of online shopping and a bit of online browsing, because of like the New Year sales and all that kind of stuff. And I have seen some people on our Flosstube community who wear stitching apparel. So the first group that comes to mind is the Steel City Stitches, where they all have like hoodies or t-shirts or whatnot, tops that have their logo on the front, and it's brilliant. And I've also seen Stitch and Jules. She's got I think some t-shirts and maybe a hoodie or something as well, or a jumper, that has some stitching related stuff on it as well. And so that's where it's like, nah, I need something. So this is a pale pink tank top that I've actually worn to the gym, and because of how pale this is, and it's got white writing as well, it's not going to show up very well, but I'm hoping that if I have something dark behind it, you'll be able to see a little bit better. Yeah, it's not going to show up very well. So I'm going to insert a picture, and what this top says is, what do you mean cross stitch doesn't count as exercise? And so the words cross stitch are in gold, and we've also got a dark yellow, and then we've got like a needle and thread, and the thread's in like a love heart and that kind of thing. So it made me chuckle a bit when I saw it. I was like, no, I really need to buy something like this. And because I go to the gym frequently, I needed just something new to wear to the gym, and I actually purposely chose the white writing on this fabric because I, for a lot of the time, just want to hide when I'm at the gym. I will find corners or something. If it's a group situation, I'll very much be quite reserved. So I don't want to bring I want to try and bring as little attention to myself as I practically can, which is quite entertaining when you go back and look through some of my earlier Flosstube episodes where I've got this bright pink hair, and there are moments where I have the confidence to deal with that kind of thing, where I can be like, yep, okay, this is my choice to have the hair like it is, and I own it, I can deal with it. there are other times when the confidence is like, I just don't want to draw attention to myself. I'm just not feeling it and that kind of thing. So that's part of the reason why this is the way it is. And I love it. It's a really comfy top. So I'll put all the details in the description box below for where I got the top from and all the rest. So I'm just looking at my stuff in front of me as well, just to get organised, because I also purchased some threads that have come in as well. So in store, like in my local needlework store, I bought two cottage garden threads called Buttercup and Salvia. So these are the two threads there, and then in the mail came the other two, which is Hugs and Kisses and Spruce. So these are the four threads. So the reason why I've purchased these is a free pattern that is still available on the Cottage Garden Threads website, and I'll put the details in the description box below as well. So I heard about this free pattern via the Fox and Rabbit, their Flosstube. Fox and Rabbit are, I think they've got pretty well all of Cottage Garden Threads thread collection, which, I mean, if anyone watching here hasn't already been able to physically touch or see any of Cottage Garden Threads, pop onto their website, because beautiful threads. I've only really learnt about Cottage Garden Threads in the last 12 months or so, and I ended up having a fangirl moment when I realised a couple of things. One, Cottage Garden Threads are Aussie. Two, my LNS stocks some of Cottage Garden threads, and the threads are beautiful to work with. So I feel like I'm a little bit behind the A game in that one, and I'm glad that I'm catching up. Handlebar Stitcher, they designed a Biscornu based purely on Cottage Garden threads, and this is what I was initially wanting to start stitching on Australia Day, which is the 26th of January each year, and it's I guess the equivalent to like Canada Day and all those sorts of national days, national holidays. And so yeah, I wanted to stitch something Australian themed, but I had to actually order a couple of the threads and wait for them to come in. And I've got the intention of actually, rather than stitching it on the recommended fabric that the pattern calls for, I'm going to stitch it on this. So I think the pattern still calls for 18 count Aida or 18 count fabric, which this is. And this is actually like some scrap fabric that I've had in my stash for ages, and I'm actually looking at this a bit closer. It could be 18 count, it could nearly be 20 count. So this initially was like a white fabric that I've dyed yellow, and then using some of the sprays that I've got that I'll grab really soon, I sprayed the fabric with two different sprays, just out of curiosity to see how this would turn out, and I think it's actually turned out pretty good. So I'll definitely keep you posted about how I go with stitching it. Yeah, there should be plenty of fabric there for what the pattern calls for, and yeah, it's something where I could probably look it up on the internet as well in terms of like the fabric calculators and that, which are absolutely awesome. And it's something where I still need to be really careful about my numbers and how I count and all that fun stuff. So I'm just going to get the sprays that I used to go with this fabric, and I'll be back really, really soon. Okay, so these are the two sprays that I used. So it's a Kaiser Craft brand name. So here in Australia at least, we've got, I guess, this craft store called Kaiser Craft, and I think I'd bought these either from, I'm just got a bit of glare going on, from Kaiser Craft, or I'd bought these from a different crafty arts store that sold these sprays. So I've used apple and olive. I think apple might have a little bit of glitter in it. Actually, no, both of them do. So both of them are iridescent spray ink with shimmer. They are water-based, so if I were to wash this fabric, the spray'd wash out. So apparently these guys, it was at least maybe made in Australia, but yeah, so we've got it. Untie the tongue. So you definitely need to shake these really, really well before use, because I guess I don't know if it'll show well on camera, but if they've been sitting around for a while, the glitter part actually, and I guess the colours, the main ink stuff sort of settles at the bottom of the container as well. So I guess because it's water friendly, it does say on the packaging as well that it's photo friendly. So if you are into scrapbooking or multimedia kind of craft, you'd be aware of like the acid free kind of products out there, like the double-sided tapes and the acid free inks and all the rest, just to make your stuff last longer. so that's all that kind of stuff. So I do have a lot of the other colours in my collection, and depending on how things go with this Bisque Nu, I might actually end up doing more fabric like this, where I'll dye the fabric using some powdered dye that I've gotten from a craft store or something like that, have that as the base colour, then spray some corresponding colours on it. I could probably even get away with having just the white fabric or the light coloured fabric that I haven't dyed, and then do the spray. So it's just me experimenting, because I do know that Jodie from Steel City Stitches, she's got Jodie fabrics, and she's done a phenomenal job with those fabrics, especially the blood splatter stuff. And I know that, like, I follow the Steel City Stitches on as part of the regular people that I try to watch, and it was really interesting hearing her talking about that fabric, and I guess her creative process a little bit in terms of what sort of searches she's done to try and develop that fabric in terms of the blood splatter stuff, and potentially other fabrics that she's got in her range now. So yeah, I'm definitely not looking to go into that market at all. But yeah, that's it. I'm sorry, I'm just looking around to make sure I haven't missed anything. I think that's about it. So thank you all for sticking around, and the last tidbit that I do want to mention, if you've stuck around, is that hot cross stitching, there's still a 25% off sale for all patterns that are on the website at the moment, and by the time you're watching this Flosstube episode, the new release for Coffee with Enthusiasm, it will be up on the website as well. So You don't need any coupon codes or anything like that. As soon as you jump onto the website and click on the tab for cross-stitch patterns, you'll immediately see what the sale price is and all the rest. So I know that I have had some slight hiccups with the website in terms of the homepage, especially if you're viewing it on a mobile phone device, that there have been some issues there where it doesn't look like the way it should, but it's been fixed now. So definitely go and check it out. And yeah, if there's anything there that you like, hopefully you can purchase it without any worries. If you do experience any issues and you're really keen to purchase any of the patterns on the website, my contact details are on the website, and yeah, you'll be able to contact me through that website, and we can get it sorted for you, no problems at all. They are all PDF instant downloads. So as soon as you purchase it, you'll be able to download those patterns and you'll be good to go. All of the full coverage patterns are pattern keeper friendly, and the patterns that aren't full coverage, they will import, majority of the time will import into Pattern Keeper, but it won't pick up on is the back stitch. So if you have the ability to print off your patterns, I strongly recommend that you do that, because you'll be able to see where the back stitching is. Alternatively, if you're able to view the patterns that you've purchased on your actual IT device, then yeah, definitely use that digital reference as well for any of the back stitching that you need. So thank you again so much for your time for this episode. If you do have any questions or comments or anything about what you've seen in today's episode, yeah, definitely drop me a line in the comments box and all the rest, and I'll hopefully see you guys in about 2 weeks. See you.